This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for August 21, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, Clarendon fishermen reported missing. The police are seeking the public's help to find the two Clarendon fishermen who have been reported missing. Denroy Morgan, 52, and the 26-year-old Hilroy Reed, both from Capture Land in Rocky Point, have not been seen or heard from since Monday, August 14. Morgan is of dark complexion, slim build, and about 5 feet 7 inches tall. Reed is of dark complexion, medium build, and about 6 feet tall. Reports from the Maypen police are that about 11 a.m. on the day in question, Morgan and Reed were last seen in their community and have not been heard from since. Their modes of dress at the time they went missing are unknown. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Denroy Morgan and Hilroy Reed is being asked to contact the Maypen police at 876-986-2208, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Man shot on Winchester Road in St. Andrew. A male employee of a courier business located on Winchester Road in St. Andrew was shot this morning. A section of the roadway has been cordoned off as investigators process the scene. Details of the shooting are yet to be released. Motorists are being advised to use alternative routes. PNP calls for government to reconsider AMC complex divestment. The opposition People's National Party is strongly urging the government to rethink the divestment of the Agricultural Marketing Corporation complex in Kingston. In a letter dated August 17, tenants were advised that the divestment process has started and the government is conducting the necessary due diligence to identify an appropriate modality for divestment, after which an investor will be identified through a transparent, competitive process. The process is due for completion by the first quarter of next year. President of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, Lenworth Fulton, has spoken out against the move. The PNP says it too is greatly concerned. It argues that the facilities within the complex have for decades supported farmers through inventory holding, both ambient and cold sorting, grading, inspection, and packaging of particular export crops, and served as a distribution hub for farmers' produce, supplying hotels, hospitals, and the large wholesale outlets. The PNP says it is concerned that with post-harvest losses climbing as high as 40% for some crops, the government deems it appropriate to divest itself from the very facility whose services reduce post-harvest losses. Of equal concern is the loss of a facility that supports exports, it adds. The PNP is contending that the move runs counter to the government's stated intention to place a greater emphasis on the variables that facilitate export. That's why it wants the government to reconsider the move. In fact, we advance the position that more agricultural complexes that offer appropriate storage, an efficient and responsive distribution system, and sorting and grading facilities should be built by the government. We believe that this will stimulate agriculture production and remove the bad experiences of glut and scarcity, reduce excessive produce assembly cost, lower high wholesale and retail margins, and temper high seasonal and geographic variation in prices. Security guards contracts dispute to be heard by Supreme Court in December. The legal showdown between security guards and their employers regarding contentious contracts being offered to them is to be heard in December in the Supreme Court. Attorney at law Leonard Green, who is representing the guards through the Security Guard Task Force, gave the guards an update on the lawsuit during a meeting Sunday afternoon at the offices of the Union of Clerical Administrative and the Supervisory Employees. Mr. Green said the guards used the meeting to outline to the legal team a number of challenges they are contending with. The Supreme Court had ruled last September that the security guards were not independent contractors, but instead employees entitled to all attendant benefits. A number of the guards have rejected the new contracts, arguing that they will lose benefits accrued over the years.
Come December, we are getting a date to go to court on the first hearing of the fixed date claim form. That legal action is challenging the company's attempt to force security guards to sign a document that they describe as an agreement to terminate the existing contract and to create a new contract which would transform them into probationary workers. If the workers were to sign this agreement, they would forego all their legal rights. And we have advised them that they are not to sign these contracts because it would not be in their best interest. The workers have provided us with a number of horror stories as to how they have been treated by the company. And they are very excited about the prospect that they may, at some stage in short order, be getting some legal redress through the court system. Essentially, that is where we are.
Seaford High teachers says concerns about the principal's dismissal still not addressed. Teachers attached to the Seaford High School in St. Thomas are refuting claims by the board chairman, Dean Jones, that the concerns and the questions regarding dismissal of Principal Calbert Thomas have been addressed. The teachers staged a protest last week in the Seaford Square to press the school's board to provide answers on the reasoning for the separation. Thomas and the school's bursar were sent on leave pending the outcome of a probe into allegations of financial irregularities at the institution. Following the probe, the education minister determined that there was no evidence of malfeasance. The bursar was subsequently reinstated, however, the principal was not recalled. This did not go over well with the teachers, who say they have been demanding answers for the decision to part ways with the principal, leading to the protest. In a release following the protest, the board chairman said through two forms of communication, the staff was provided with answers to questions and to concerns regarding the dismissal of Mr. Thomas to obviate the demonstration. The teachers have described this statement as false. They say the two responses neither answered the questions and the concerns of the teachers nor facilitated discussion on the attendance issues. The teachers say the communication raised more questions than were answered. In a release, the concerned teachers and the stakeholders say they have lost confidence in the board chairman, particularly in light of pronouncements reportedly made by him in relation to the continued engagement of teachers who participated in the protest. They are now calling for the intervention of Education Minister Favour Williams and the Prime Minister Andrew Holness, as they do not believe that justice is being dispensed in the matter. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.